So, I just got done watching Spider Man Brand New Day, and I liked it. Um, Here's a little few details that I wanted to discuss about the things I liked, the things I didn't like, and the things I thought could use some improvement. So, let's start off with everything I did not like. For starters, did not like seeing Zendaya in it, and also I did not like seeing Mark Ruffalo as Hulk, even though we see him only as Savage Hulk, or we see him as Savage Hulk, and um, we don't see too much of him. I still didn't like that we ended up getting Mark Ruffalo. Um, don't like the guy, don't like the actor. He gets involved with politics. That motherfucker shouldn't get involved with politics. I don't like him. I always thought he was a terrible Hulk. Anyways, I would have preferred Edward Norton. The Hand. Why? Why is the Hand working for damage control as if like they need a fucking leader, that they need damage control? Like, you can't tell me that this is the same Hand that Nobu was leading, that Elektra was leading in the Netflix series. They're they're they're, they're just not. It really proves to my theory that the Netflix and the MCU are not still fucking connected, because they act totally different, and it pisses me off. All right, like, ugh. And then Zendaya. I I really wish she wasn't MJ. Like, because we all know she's not Mary Jane. She's not Mary Jane. They even say her name is fucking Michelle Jones Watson. Not MJ. She's not the Mary Jane Watson, the party goer, the supermodel. She hides her pain behind partying and wanting love and affection. That's not who MJ is in the MCU. She's not MJ. But she was honestly pretty good, and I liked how I was really scared that when Sadie Sink was confirmed as Jean Grey, that they were going to have it where, oh, you know, I could actually reverse that spell and make it so your friends do remember everything. I'm glad that didn't happen. I'm glad that MJ has no feelings for fucking Peter, you know, but she might at the same time, because she kind of, I don't know, you know? Um, and then, she was good, but I just don't feel like we need more MJ. I get it, Tom Holland is married to Zendaya in real life and shit like that, and yada yada yada, but to me, it's just like, give us Black Cat, like a sex appeal sex cat, Black Cat, or like a sex appeal fucking, not sex appeal, but give us like Gwen Stacy, or you know, other people. I forget the rest of Peter's love interests names, but yeah, I don't know. No more MJ, please. Now, another thing I didn't really like was Sadie Sink as Jean Grey. They could have had so much potential to cast her as someone else. Okay, first of all, Samara Weaving is going to be fucking Emma Frost. They better not fuck up her sex appeal as Emma Frost. You know, I want Emma Frost with a fucking sex appeal. And I just feel bad for Scott. He's got a flat ass fucking Jean Grey, and then Samara Weaving as Emma Frost. But also, it's just, why did they have to make her the victim, and the victim misunderstood villain of the movie? Why couldn't we just have a different villain that would make more sense for the movie? Like, come on. And then, I don't know, I just feel like we could have gotten better casting for Jean Grey, and we could have gotten. I mean, we're getting a younger Cyclops, right, for a younger Jean Grey, but then we got Emma Frost, so how's that love triangle going to work? Because Samara Weaving is not high school. Or looks like she's in high school, like fucking Sadie Sink and the actor of Cyclops. So, I don't know, unless Scott likes his women older. Um, and then, moving on to the things that I thought I really enjoyed. Number one, seeing The Punisher. If you guys know me, you know I'm a huge Punisher fan. You know, Marvel Comics, the shows, the movie, you know, the Thomas Jane and the Stephen Ray. Right. Ray Stevenson. Is that his name? Ray Stevenson? I forget, but you get the point. All the way down to John Bernthal. Then when you guys, if you guys saw my Punisher One Last Kill review, I was kind of disappointed in Punisher One Last Kill because it didn't feel like comic book Punisher. This movie meets somewhere in the middle, right? We still get that John trying his hardest to really fulfill those boots and be the Punisher, but then we got him in the PG-13. But it was still really cool seeing Punisher. I hate the costume still. I think his Punisher vest in this fucking movie sucks massive dick. But at the same time, just seeing him on screen, which I'm surprised we saw a lot of, and thank God we didn't see him in his fucking, in that rumored War Machine armor that they kept saying. I was like, dude, it defeats the purpose of being a street level movie if he is in some fucking Iron Man armor. And I'm so glad he was not in a Iron Man armor. But John, he for me, he carried the side cast, and he wasn't even really a side cast. He was one of the main characters in it. And what happens to him with Peter at the end of the movie, you know, like I felt like I almost had a tear, like him feeling bad about that shit, about him shooting Peter. Even though he was in the right to try to shoot Jean, because Jean fucking killed hundreds of people, you know. Um, God, yeah, Jean did kill hundreds of people if you think about it. But John Bernthal as the Punisher, I really loved. Another thing I really loved, we get to see a broke Spider-Man. Now I say broke, but then he's able to afford fucking all this equipment to make an AI and to make these web shooters and to like have this UI HUD of like HUD's display and this $1,000 phone, but he's broke. Remember, he's broke. He also has no job, but he could pay rent. What the fuck was that? He had no job, but he could pay rent. Sorry. And so I like that we get to see a broken Peter, and it's amazing. We get to see Peter lose, but Spider-Man win. And another thing I really liked was he's alone. He has no Aunt May, he has no MJ, no Ned, no other heroes know who he is, and he's just trying to do this shit on his own. Sure, you got Jean DeWolf, but I mean, like, I guess that's another thing I don't like was Jean DeWolf. But I really love that we just see Peter struggle and struggle and struggle, and it's kind of like in Spider-Man 2 how he's so detached and wants to be in love that he starts losing his powers. Instead, it's he's so focused on being Spider-Man that he's no longer becoming Peter Parker. And so instead of him losing his powers are getting enhanced. Now, one thing I don't like as well was the AI in his suit. Can we just get no AI, no fancy shit? Like, come on. He doesn't need it. And then the suit, of course, the suit was maybe is probably the most comic accurate suit we've seen to date on the live screen, on the big screen. Besides TASM 2, this suit is the closest that we have gotten. It's based off the John Romita suit, design, which is legend. When you think Spider-Man, that's like one of the iconic suits that you think of. But also kind of makes me think about Spectacular Spider-Man in a way. Um, just from the lining to the eyes to the spider logo. If only we got the spider logo in the back that is like more comic book accurate, I would love that. Um, Loved it, and I loved his chemistry with him and Punisher. Just that or almost said brother sister, that older and younger brother, like bickering back and forth, back and forth. It was chef's kiss. Um, also really love that he makes mistakes. You know, he confesses to making those mistakes, because that's what makes Spider-Man Spider-Man. He's still a human after all. He's going to make mistakes, and when he accidentally arrests Jean, like for the thinking that he was in the right, and then he finds out like, oh shit, like Jean's not the bad guy, even though she still is, because she murdered people, and she had someone jumping from a fucking car. But I liked that a lot. He Another thing I liked was the organic webbing. Now, I don't know moving on forward if he's going to keep having organic webbing, like in future installments. I would really hope so. I hope that's not just like one time thing and then they're like, we're going to fix it. He kind of gave into his power at the end because Jean was like, oh, can you be Spider-Man or Peter Parker? Like, choose one. And he's like, nah, bitch, I'm both. I'm both Spider-Man and Peter Parker. And he like totally like got control of his new organic webbings, enhanced like senses and shit. Like he was able to knock that shit out and control it all. And so it lets me question like, okay, is now Spider-Man keeping his organic webbing? Because if so, I love that. I always loved Peter or Tobey Maguire Spider-Man because of the organic webbing. Yeah, I mean, sure. If you get bit by a spider, wouldn't it make sense to have the exact powers of said spider? Why wouldn't you be able to spin your own webs? And yeah, it probably would be gross as hell to have that shit oozing out of you. Like, there's that little funny spit where he's like, oh, gross, and it's just spewing his goo everywhere. And then things that I feel like could have been worked on better. The story. The story really could have been better. Now, I think it was still an amazing film. I mean, it broke $1 billion in just under a weekend. It's planning on breaking more. It beat the fucking Odyssey. But that doesn't mean that the story was the best. And this is not the best Spider-Man movie ever made. That still holds the title of Spider-Man 2 from 2004. With Tobey Maguire, Alfred Molina, blah blah blah. But this movie was pretty fucking good. Now, another thing that could have been worked upon and fixed was stretching. No, I'm joking. Yeah, the story, and then getting rid of the Hulk. Having the Hulk in there was completely useless. Um, switch Jean with literally any other mind controlled powered villain. You could have done like a Mrs. Sinister or something else. Or make those twins from the new animated series canon to 616 universe, I guess, that the evil twins, that would have been cool. Or just anybody besides Jean. Like, why did we have to make Jean a villain? If you're trying to introduce mutants, don't make them hate, like, well, okay, I get it, because mutants were created in the 60s about racism, and they were hated and looked down upon, and it's always been a struggle between racism and blah 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 for the mutants and the X-Men. But at the same time, it's like you you're trying to sell us that mutants aren't bad when Jean is literally killing people. And so you expect me to go into theaters to see the new X-Men supporting these guys, like these mutant freaks, after what happened with Jean? Another thing I think that could be improved and worked on is, why did Frank have to say kilometer? Like, I forget exactly what he says, but you could tell this movie was meant for overseas people because of his suit, Frank's suit, but also he goes, oh, something kilometer. It's like, Frank, you're fucking American. Why are you talking about kilometers, big guy? You know? And there was some MCU funny moments, in the beginning when Spider-Man is trying to stop the tank and he slides against the tourist bus real slow. And then there's also the ending where Punisher is wearing Spider-Man's mask and gloves and he's going like he literally makes that fucking noise, and it made me laugh. Thank God I wasn't in the theater and I was in my room watching it. Oh my God, my eyes are heavy as hell. I need a nap. Don't tell John Bernthal that. Also, we see Punisher nap in this movie, dude. Oh my God. Hey, okay, hang on. I gotta pause this. So, after a few days of taking naps and then not sleeping at all, and then just constantly working, I just got back from a 12-hour shift, like at 4 a.m. today. Took an hour nap. Now I'm here. You know, what we'll be talking about. Right, Spider-Man Brand New Day. Oh my God. It was a good movie. I really did genuinely fucking like it. Upon doing this voiceover, we now got a cast of the X-Men. Sadie Sink is still sadly Jean Grey. I do not like Sadie Sink as Jean Grey. That is one thing I will always fucking hate. She's a good actress. She's great. Never saw in Stranger Things, but I saw her in those like anthology horror Netflix little movie they were doing. That trilogy of the anthology. Would that be called a trans? No, not trans. A trilogy? Fear Street, that's what it's called. She was in that. I liked it. And then there's, what else is she in? She's in Stranger Things, but I've never seen Stranger Things. Don't want to because it's full of fucking woke faggots. Fuck. But she's a good actress, and she did good for the role she was given. But she is not Jean Grey, especially when you got Samara Weaving as Emma Frost. Like if I was Cyclops, hell yeah, I would cheat on Jean Grey for fucking Emma Frost, dude. Because it's fucking Samara Weaving. You only got Indy the fucking Latina from Obsession, the one that everyone is literally obsessed with. Yeah, I like myself a Latina baddie, but I'm like, she's playing Rogue. She's going to be playing a Southern Belle, but Disney's going to find a way to make her Rogue where she's from like the hood and she's a fucking chica. She's a loca. She's a gangbanger. She grew up in the streets, dude, with the fucking Los Vatos, you know. Instead of Rogue, the Southern Belle, she's the fucking Los Vatos Belle. She'd be like, oh no, you don't want to mess with my boyfriend, S.A. Hold my hopes, bitch. Instead of a fucking Southern accent. I'm getting off track here. Spider-Man Brand New Day, it was really, really fucking good. I liked it. Daniel texted me yesterday, or the day before, and he's like, dude, I really loved Spider-Man Brand New Day. I was like, dude, same here. And he's like, I never knew a handshake would make me cry. And I was like, straight up though, same. Like, just imagine you make this wish, right? And your friends forget who you are, and for 5, 6 years, or I'm sorry, 4 years after that, you made that wish. You're alone. You're lonely. You meet the love of your life again. Thank God she doesn't remember you, because you're probably fucking other bitches now. Like, hopefully Felicia Hardy, and not Jean Grey. You're fucking other bitches. You're still lonely though. You're the love of your life's like, yeah, sorry, I don't love you. But you miss your best friend. And all of a sudden you see him, and you give him a handshake, and then he just says your name, like as if he remembers. Like, ooh, literal chills, dude. Like, yes. I loved that scene. I loved how Zendaya doesn't have feelings for Spider-Man. She doesn't remember him. But Ned, his best fucking friend. Bros before hoes, dude. Bros before fucking hoes. I just farted. I'm gonna have a sip of coffee. I'm disgusting. Probably not. But honestly, is it the best Spider-Man movie in the world? No. That title will always go to Spider-Man 2 from the Sam Raimi movies. Is it the best Spider-Man movie that we have so far? Currently in the Tom Holland phase. Yes, abso-fucking-lutely. Is it the best MCU movie? I'd have to give it to Captain America, The Winter Soldier, and Iron Man. But it is in the top 3 for sure. Best movie of 2026 goes to Obsession, of course. But it is the best superhero movie we've had in the past. I want to say 5 years, since 2020. Yeah. Actually, yeah. Because Spider-Man No Way Home came out in 2021 because of that man-made fucking flu. And then yeah, in the past 4 years, since 2021, I would say this is the best superhero movie we've had. Every single other superhero movie has been shit, and from here on out, every other superhero movie is going to be shit. It's plain and simple. Now, off track here for a second. Let's talk about actually this X-Men lineup, because I got like 2 minutes left of recording, but This X-Men lineup, dude, we got a Latina playing Rogue, a Southern Belle. You can't be fucking Mexican, but then be Southern. You know? It's like saying you're Chinese, but you fucking are part of the KKK. You're like, right route, right power, you know? Um, and then you got Samara Weaving, which, fuck, dude, like, yeah. Just yes. But I really hope that they do make Samara Weaving's Emma Frost a whore and dress like a whore, like she does in the comics, and actually really stand out with the sex appeal that Disney is so fucking afraid of nowadays. Like, it's not bad to show tits, dude. It's not bad to show cleavage. Men like fucking tits. Well, and they also do like to actually fuck tits. But that's not the point. The point is, if you're going to give us Emma Frost, don't cover her up. If you're going to give us Rogue, make her look hot. I want my Southern Belle. She better have a fucking Southern accent and not some fucking Latina, fucking Homa Hoops, ghetto ass, fucking Los Vatos, Chica, Chola shit. You know? I don't want Rogue to be married to some fucking, like, ghetto ass gangbanger fucking Banner Remy.